tired of this shitty call center job,
Yeah.
so I stepped it up and I started learning programming, computer science, and things like that. And so, that's something of value that I think that I can bring to my subscribers. And, it's outside of,
Yeah,
you
that's a
know,
good point because you use your musical, at least the desire and the skills that you have in your music, but like apply it in another way. That's good for people to hear, actually.
yeah, it's a way to take your technical skills to another level,
Yeah.
and, you know, and add a second, add another stream of income, because people talk about
Right.
that with music. They say you should, try to have multiple streams of income. And so
Yeah, exactly.
if you're doing music, then you can start learning how to program. And you don't necessarily need to learn how to be I mean, you could be a software engineer if you want to take it to that level, but there's
Right.
a lot of technical jobs that still you're not going to really be coding per se, but you're still going to be using those coding skills
Right.
to maybe do technical support. Because there a lot of there's a lot of jobs where you're sitting there troubleshooting and trying to debug shit. and
Right. Right.
and learning how to code is definitely an advantage in pursuing a career like that. And so, and that's going to be my next newsletter, or my next email out. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get away from the new beats, check out the new beats.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause it's like every time, new beats, new beats. Yeah.
Yeah, so
The
I
little
feel
personal
like,
story doesn't, yeah, that's more interesting, actually.
yeah, I'm trying to get away from just pitching something for them to buy, and trying to
Right.
get more into the personal
Yeah,
connection.
yeah, tell us
So
some kind of story, you know?
yeah, and even offer free, there's a lot of free resources out there that
Yeah.
you can learn how to code from. I mean, there's a lot of
Right.
paid stuff, but my advice is always, you can always go to the free stuff first, exhaust all that, and then, if you're really into it, then start paying. Kind of like, with guitar lessons. There's a lot of free guitar lessons out there. So if you can, if you're willing to go through all the available free stuff first, then you can
Yeah.
start paying for, the more advanced things.
Then you can study with the heavyweights like
Yeah.
me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what I've been, advising you to do, is to, offer some beginner lessons first. And then,
Yeah, I mean, I'm like my teaching thing. I work for a company, so I'm not even. I got too many other things to do with Bumblebee, like because I'm doing like kids content, not really lessons online. So I
mhm.
just worked on my Patreon page today and got all my music up, and then I got my YouTube videos up there now, and then I just have to start basically live streaming, and that'll be my. I'm trying to think like if I should do more than one live stream, Patreon only live stream, and then do another live stream that's actually open to the public like I did last time. Because right now I don't have like a ton of Patreon subscribers, right? So like if I do like 2 live streams a week, both on Patreon, but nobody's there, it's kind of like a waste of time at first, right?
Mhm.
So I'm thinking like, what if we just do one and make the price like a little lower than I was gonna originally make it, like like $5 or $6 instead of 8 or 10, but I'm only doing one live stream a week, and they're getting like the videos that I'm making a week early, and then we do the other live stream that I was thinking of on Facebook Live, like we did with the other event, and we just put our Venmo stuff, and a lot of musicians are doing that. They just put their Venmo and PayPal, they go live, and they say, if you like it, give us money. We made $300 like that last time.
Yeah, I think that's what um, a lot of people doing live streams. That's
Yeah,
normally what they do, is that you can watch it for free, and then it's kind of like, go ahead and donate to our
just
Patreon
donate.
channel.
Yeah, I almost like that better than the Patreon thing because it's just you could do it whenever you want, really, and anybody that's there will donate. But the Patreon thing is consistent subscriptions every month you can rely on. But I'm kind of thinking in the beginning we're not going to be able to sort of rely on Patreon financially unless we get enough subscribers.
Well, a lot of the YouTubers that I watch, that talk about movies,
Yeah.
they they constantly do live streams that are free, and then you can donate to the Patreon. But then, you can, for the Patreon people, they get access to more exclusive content. And so I guess, for you, you just need to figure out
What
what
can I
you
make
want.
that's exclusive where I don't have to go live? That's really what it is. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll
Mm,
think about it. Or I think maybe if I just do a short, what if it's just a shorter live exclusive Patreon feed, our live stream, like a 25-minute concert rather than like what we usually do, like 35 minutes or something. What if we do
mhm.
20 minutes at first? And then, you subscribe to our Patreon account if you're a fan, and then you get all of you can download all the music. But I need to like kind of like what kind of more I need to like kind of keep that content updated if somebody's going to pay $5 every month. That's why the live stream thing is cool, because I can just do live streams. I don't have to like necessarily work on anything all the time. I just go live, and it's something of value to them.
Yeah, so you just got to figure out what content you want to do that would be exclusive to the monthly subscribers. I guess that would be.
Yeah. Well, definitely like the music they can download just if they subscribe $5. Any new, so I have to kind of like put music out more often.
Yeah, so that could probably be it. You'll have the live performances to kind of, that'll kind of build your audience. And then,
Right.
for people that want to, you know,
Yeah. So I
subscribe,
think
then
like one exclusive live stream and all the music is worth like $5 a month at this point.
yeah.
And
So, oh, go ahead.
no, sorry, no, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, I don't really watch a lot of musicians who stream live,
Yeah.
but I watch YouTubers who talk about coding, and like, for example, the one guy I follow, well, not yeah, I subscribe to him just on YouTube, Josh Fluke. So basically, what he does is he'll if you give him, for like a certain price, he'll basically review your portfolio or your resume or your website, whatever it
Hmm.
is. He'll review that live on YouTube. And so that's kind of what he'll offer to his Patreon people. What's wrong?
The dog farted, dude.
Oh, really?
It's bad.
Oh,
Holy
man.
shit. Sorry to interrupt you. Oh, sorry, dude. Oh, you're gonna have to edit that part out. Anyway, start that part over again. That way I'm not like
what what
about the
part?
guy that used the information you were.
Oh, well, dude, I don't really, there's no editing.
Edit that part out.
Well, I don't have to edit it out. I mean, I can just basically,
Just end it
um,
before that.
yeah.
Woo!
Our dog used to do that when he was a puppy, but
It's fucking bad. I never smelled it or ever fart like that before. Damn, Mila.
so what else
Shit.
is going on? When's your next live performance?
Oh, I do like 3 a week because I do one on Tuesday for the daycare, and then on Thursday we do two for. Oh, damn it! You got me in my face. That's enough. You don't have to overdo that shit. Sorry, dude. Um, there she is, the guilty one. Yeah, I do like 3 a week for the daycares, and then we're gonna be doing we're gonna add like our consistent Facebook stream. Probably just do it like that once. So I'll be doing like 5 a week.
So you didn't do one this week for Facebook?
No, not this week. I kind of needed a break because I'm already doing the ones for the daycare, so that's a lot to juggle. And like I've been going hard, really hard for the last 3 weeks. So I kind of took this weekend to be like, all right, let me just chill. And then next weekend we're gonna start doing our live stream. So I think we'll probably do like Facebook like Sunday night, anybody could watch, or Sunday like we did last time, like 3 o'clock.
Sunday
And then
night? Isn't everyone going to bed?
not night. I meant like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. To me, that's like night right now because I whatever.
Yeah.
Sunday like matinee, you know.
Hmm.
And then we'll probably start the Patreon thing after that on like Saturday morning or something like that, you know.
Hmm.
And that'll be cool because that's the one that we should make the movement thing. Because Andrea's going to do like a special movement live stream where she's the one that talks to the kids, and then I'll like play music, but we're going to plan more interactive stuff. You know what I mean? So maybe that could be the draw for us. Will be like, you know, this interactive exclusive live stream once a week with Andrea and I with music. And then on Facebook, we just do our thing and we just, you know, we just go crazy and try to get people to pay attention, you know? So anyway.
Yeah. So before we started our chat, I was mixing one of the beats in the car,
Yeah.
and it's definitely it's definitely it's like when I go from the car back to home speakers, or because I don't have any studio monitors,
Right. Right.
it sounds I don't know, it's like it sounds a lot different
Yeah, it
in
really
terms of
is.
like the volumes of the instruments. One thing I was learning is that you shouldn't put those mastering plugins, and like you should do that on the 2-track version.
Oh, right. Yeah. Instead of on the master.
Yeah, because and you should also just mix it not low, but just still leave some headroom. I
And
mean, I
then you'll
guess,
bring it in.
yeah. Yeah, so I guess if you just take off those mastering plugins, you'll have a lot more headroom, because I
That's
noticed
what's
it.
happening because when I mix it without the mastering plugins,
Hmm.
my levels are normal. And then as soon as I start doing that, it's everything starts to like just it turns into like this big wheel of like shit. You know what I mean? So I think you're right, dude. Like the only reason I sometimes I get frustrated with doing it that way because you have to if you something's not right, you got to go back and rebounce it again. If you start because once you start compressing things get louder, you know what I mean? They get the ratio of things get different. But I think you're right. That would actually probably be a lot easier.
Is that why you're pulling the volumes down on all the tracks?
Yeah, because once you start limiting it or compressing it, the ratios of everything, it's like it really fucks with how loud the drums and the keys are compared to each other. And those keyboard plugins are just always really hot in general.
Hmm.
Like I have to constantly I go in now on the actual plugin and just turn the volume down on the plugin. I do that a lot now because
Hmm.
they're just so loud. They're just loud. I don't know what. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like that way to me. Because when I record guitars or something, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm doing that as much. But you're right.
Yeah.
If I don't use the mastering plugins on the session, then that never happens.
Yeah, you should just mix it without it first, and then just pull the 2-track in on a new
All
session,
right. Yeah,
and
I can
then
try that.
well, I guess I could do that now that you're not really
I mean, you
doing
might
it.
as well. I mean, I'll just give you like a pretty good mix, and I won't even touch the mastering part of it then, and then you could just take it from there and do whatever you want.
Yeah, that side chaining with the kick, and also putting the kicks that don't have 808s
Oh, dude.
works a lot better.
That I can't believe I didn't know about that little trick, man. That is a great idea, man. So you basically you take every time the kick hits with the 808, you put that on another track, and any other kick that's separate, you just leave it on there by itself.
Well, so the kick, I mean, all the tracks are already separate. I'll just make a duplicate track of the kick itself, and
Right.
then on that'll so the kick that hits with the 808,
Right.
I'll take the low end out, so it doesn't
Yep.
whatever the 808 is hitting at, I'll cut those frequencies off of the kick. That
And
way,
that's all they're all, but those are like you're saying, they're all on a separate track though, the bass kicks. So you have
right,
two bass kick tracks and one that only hits with the 808, and then when it's not hitting, it has the bass back on it.
right, exactly.
Oh, dude, that's a great idea. What do you do with audio though? Like if you have two, like with MIDI, I guess it's easier if you do it ahead of time. You can separate them in the MIDI
Hmm.
because if you have audio, you're going to end up clipping like if you have like a do and like the 808 is only on one of those, right? And then it's like it's gonna get cut off or whatever, you know? You don't get the full length of the note if you're dealing with audio.
Well, with the software, it allows you, the editing tools are really
Yeah.
good. I mean, um, there's ways to there's
I
ways
mean, you can
around
always
that.
just, if you did it in the MIDI, then that's not a problem. I'm just saying, like, if you only have the audio file,
And this one guy basically, he was showing like his Pro Tool session, and he basically shrunk the how like the 808s will stretch out over a certain time. He kind of pushed the WAV file back so that way it doesn't sit there and ring out too long over the track. Like instead of doom, he made it so it'd go doom.
Oh, that's another good idea. Oh, damn. So he just did that with Pro Tools.
Yeah, but I'm sure you can do that in
Because
Logic.
like the
But
pitch
man,
does, obviously the pitch is still the same. It's just the speed of the sample.
right, exactly. Just the duration of how the 808 rings out. But man, Logic, I feel like there's just too much. Like there's just too many like parameter. Like there's too much stuff.
You'll
Like
get used to it, dude. You just it's
God,
just unfamiliar.
like Ableton and Pro Tools, it's like so much. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but they make it so it's not hard to find. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Well, you also have to realize that the logic is based off of like what GarageBand is, and for somebody that doesn't know anything, it actually is easier to use because it's just all
oh
there in front of you to
God,
just start messing with, you're
yeah,
because you're used to the back end idea where like you're used to, like, let's say a PC instead of a Mac, right? You know what I mean? Where like the PC you gotta know shit, and the Mac you just plug it in and start going. And that's what Logic is. And like there's a lot of
jeez.
shit, but it's easier to get just like go and start messing with stuff like with loops and like if you used GarageBand and then have Logic, you're like, oh yeah, this is easy. But you come from freaking Pro Tools, so it's like it's a totally different, dude,
Well,
concept.
even just to highlight something in the
I
editor and
know it's
delete it,
annoying,
it's just
dude.
like, what the fuck? Like, how come I can't? It's just like, in Logic, I mean, in Ableton, I can do it pretty easily. In Pro Tools, I can do it easily. But fucking Logic is just like so damn hard to just highlight a simple section and delete,
It's not that hard. You just got to know all the you just got to know what it is. You just don't know what everything is.
Yeah.
You'll get
Well,
to it.
I'm basically just learning, one bit at a time. Like, today when I was mixing, I was specifically focusing on the kick and the 808 because that's usually the hardest part to mix.
Yep,
And like
always.
once you can get that once you get that down, the rest isn't as hard. But
Yeah,
like
because that's like the foundation of the beat, right? Like the 808, the kick, and the bass. Once you have
right.
those levels sort of set, and the snare, everything else like fits below that. And if you don't have that like foundation, then you're screwed.
Yeah, and putting it and bringing my laptop into the car and mixing it is all. I mean, God, it really helps you kind of balance out like
Yeah.
how like the level of the 808 as well.
I know, because you don't ever. That's the thing, is if you don't have a sub, you don't really know how much bass you're pumping into that. That's why, dude, the Kramer plugin for the kick is money
I took it
because
off of. I didn't
what's
like
that?
it. I took it off. It was taking like, I don't know. It was making the kick go instead of
That's what the purpose of it was. Probably too much of that, but like you're taking off it, like it overall, like at first when you hear it by itself, you're like, I don't like it as much. But when you hear it in the mix, it fits in the mix. Like the mix that I gave you, the bass kick fucking it like it I can feel it. It's loud, but it's not like like all this. It takes the subs out of the kick a little
well,
bit.
see, with what I was doing with with the techniques I was using,
Yeah,
I was using the EQ to roll off the low end on the kick that was mixed with
right.
the 808, and so having that Kramer along with it was,
That's
was
why, because both you probably can't do both because you're sort of doing that. I don't know. I mean, it's the kick that you probably gave me has already been run through something similar to
mm,
as a preamp probably already. So yeah, doing all that shit doesn't make sense, but it is cool to like it definitely, like, if you're not going to do all that like intricate shit, it makes it like fit into the mix where the sub of the kick just doesn't overwhelm you. But I mean, whatever, do what you got to do. I mean, whatever fits.
yeah, I was doing the run and beat, so that was the one I was mixing this morning.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
Nice.
but anyway, how much time are we at now?
Oh, dude, we're way over half an hour. I don't even know. It doesn't say like what the time is, but
It doesn't. Yeah. How come it doesn't show that?
it should. Hold on. There's a way to look at it. Yeah, I think it's enough. I gotta actually get going.
Okay, cool. Well,
Supposed to
that
make
wraps
dinner.
up episode 4. Smash the subscribe button, and we'll see everybody next week.
All right, y'all.
All right, late.
Peace.